The average soul comes here 50 times at least. And the reason why they come here 50 times is because they can't get it right. And so God was like, that's why God sent light workers like yourself, Janine, and myself, is because so many people keep failing the test and they keep coming back and coming back. And people go back complaining, like, okay, we were born with this veil of forgetfulness. So how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to work on?
Yeah.
So people like Janine and I will sit with you and we'll help you figure out what you're supposed to work on so you don't have to come back. Like Janine and I have gotten validation. This is it. We've been here many, many, many times. And our mission here on earth is done once we complete this mission, and we have to.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl E, and this is another episode of the Vision Rebirth podcast. This is a podcast where we explore life changing stories of near death experiences, out of body experiences, divine dreams, meditations, and encounters with other beings. And today we have two special guests. They are the owners of the Uplift Vibrational Wellness Center in New Providence, New Jersey. These are twin flames and hosts from the Truth Be Told Conversation podcast, where they address some of life's toughest challenges in hopes of touching the hearts and soul of many who are on the path to healing. We have Kisha and Janine. How are you?
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
family?
how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I really I'm so happy that I found your podcast because in this space, it's not a lot of people that look like us, and
No,
if
Yeah.
if y'all know the same black people I know, in terms of religion and everything, if it don't start with Jesus on the cross and him rising on the third day, everything is everything else is demonic. So I'm really happy to
yes,
talk to
you
y'all,
absolutely right.
and I'm curious to like what y'all
Indeed.
what was your religious background before like your spiritual awakening?
Yeah, so I grew up Christian. I grew up in a very religious household. I grew up AME, African Methodist Episcopal. For those that don't know, that was my father's side. And on my mom's side, they were Pentecostal. So it was conservative and heavy religion in my household. That's
Hmm.
for
Right.
sure. So, yeah, truly, truly religious. I had to make sure I was at church every Sunday. My dad did not play. And we were in the choir. We were part of the youth groups.
Mm-hmm.
So religion was very, very strong and heavily grounded in my family for sure.
Same
Wow.
here, same here. I grew up in the church as well. My grandmother would drag us, me and my cousin, to church every Sunday. My mother, she worked nights, so she had a rule, especially when I became older, like as long as I lived in her house, even if I was clubbing,
Yeah,
when you
church still
came home
gotta
from the
come on.
club, you had to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
So I would literally be in the club like 4 o'clock in the morning and then be on the pulpit 9 o'clock singing some hymns because I was part of the
Same.
choir as well, and I was part of the usher board. So yeah,
Okay.
so it was in my blood, and
Yeah.
and like you said, and Jesus was the front and center. He still is, but in a different
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the same for me. Like I grew up Baptist, and I went to a Christian school. My parents weren't
Hmm.
like hard on me or anything like that. They let me explore because I always felt like, and maybe it was just like, I don't know, like my kid ego. I just felt like, why I'm gonna let a pastor tell me about God when I could just read. So I want to make sure whatever he's saying is accurate. So like I used to just read the Bible on my own, just to know. But I was on the praise dance team, the church choir, Sunday school. Like
Yeah.
they still got me coming back to do VBS. So yeah.
Wow.
So
Yep. Vacation
what
Bible
sort of
School. I remember that.
yeah, vacation Bible? They still got me. They're like, you gonna come back to do vacation Bible school? I'm like, all right, like
Yep.
so what brought you guys to like this mode, like in this world? I know you both had a spiritual awakening in 2018.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019. It was more 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Keisha had her near death experience in 2018. I'll let her tell you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had a near death experience. Prior to that, I was dealing with depression for 20 years.
Mm.
And in 2018, I had a near death experience. And once that happened, I would say, I want to say I woke up. I had a lot of questions after that because I said a lot of this stuff that I saw was not in the Bible or is not what I was taught in church. I went to
Okay.
a dimension where it was not heaven and it was not hell. And I'm not Catholic, but a lot of Catholics will call it purgatory.
Okay.
So then I had questions. Okay, well, if that was not heaven, if that was not hell, then why did I go there? And
Yeah.
so after I came out of that situation, I had questions and I started searching for the truth.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
me had her out
And
of
then
body experience. I
and
mean,
then
no, you had
yeah, then we had
your
our awakening. Then I had
yes.
my first awakening in 2019. I what led initially to it was I was seeing a lot of numbers. I was seeing angel numbers, and I didn't know what any of it meant. All of a sudden, I started seeing 9/11, 9/11, 9/11, and waking up 9/11. You know, seeing it during the day, seeing
Yeah.
11/9, whatever it was. I would always see ones and nines, and I never understood the significance of an angel number, and I just started kind of googling it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like pay attention, changes, things like that. And then all of a sudden one day in the middle of the night, I actually heard voices talking to me. It was two voices going back and forth in my mind, and it was legit conversation.
Hmm.
And I don't even, it was so much of it. I wish I would have wrote it down, but to be honest with you, it was so profound that it knocked me off of my socks. I didn't know what to do with the information.
Wow.
But the information that came through, you knew that it was valid because it just made so much sense. And when the information came through, I was in tears because it was like, wait a minute. You kind of look around the room and you realize the world around you is not the same.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's the best way to explain a spiritual awakening. It's like
Yeah.
all of a sudden everything around you was like a lie,
Yeah.
and the voices that were talking to me were explaining things about my relationship with the person that I was with at the time and life, and it was just so profound, and I couldn't tell you where the information came from, but it
Hmm.
was just magnificent.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yep.
it's funny you say angels numbers because um I always see the number 251. Like that's like my number. And more recently in my learnings, I've used that into being like, okay, spirit guides, let's start communicating. So when I ask them something, I say, I need to see that number 3 times within the next 24 hours, and then I'll know. And sure enough, and
Mm.
I'll see it random places. Like I'll see it in the countdown number. I'll see it when I'm on Instagram and looking at the number of likes. I'll see it when I look at the time. I see it everywhere. So like that's funny you mentioned those angel numbers. And with this process, I'm curious, to how you guys sort of like expressed, like what made y'all be like, oh, we're going to start a podcast and talk about it. Because I know for me still, like when I start talking like this, like a lot of my family be like, all right, Erica, like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Family, my husband and my kids at first kind of wondered, are you okay, Ma?
right.
But to rewinding, and we had spoke about this on our show, when Janine was, because Janine was enlightened first, and then when I came behind her, I kind of didn't understand what she was going through,
Mm,
and I was concerned because we're
yeah,
both registered nurses. So I was
yeah,
concerned maybe I need to call her mother because, like now I'm a psych nurse. At that time I wasn't a psych nurse, but someone hearing voices, you think of schizophrenia.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
so at first I was like, I'm gonna be supportive of my bestie, and we're here now. But it was a little journey because for me, when I got enlightened, um I'm a scaredy cat. So every step of the way, it was like, okay, like I like how you ask your guides for validation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because you just don't know, especially in the beginning. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so in the beginning for me, it was a new world. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I was very confused, and religion kept tapping me on my shoulder saying, "You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be doing that.
Right.
No, that's
Right.
not what we were taught." So my conscience kept bothering me. And then my husband was like, just be careful because you don't want to go down that road. So, and that's what a lot of our people feel is like, don't go down that rabbit hole because you might come up with demons.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
So,
yeah, that's the that's the fear, right? So what
mhm,
are you guys' like spiritual gifts that you have?
So both of us are actually we're clear sentient. So
Okay.
we have strong um, what's the word I'm looking for? We have strong empathic abilities.
mhm,
So we can walk in a room, we can feel everything. We have the ability to pick up on your emotions and then the other person's emotions just through conversation.
Okay.
We're also clear cognizant. So our ability to know things is strangely strong.
Hmm.
And it's weird because that picked up after we started trusting the universe.
yes,
So
Mm.
once that veil started thinning and we started really believing in the other side, then all of a sudden the things that we said when we would talk to people, it would be so on point. And then people are just like, how do you know that? And we're like, honestly, I don't know.
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So definitely that, we are improving in our ability to speak to past loved ones.
Yeah.
mhm,
Our communication is starting to enhance in that. So we
Wow.
have quite a few abilities, even some clairvoyance because we can see images. So
mhm.
we could do quite a few things. But altogether, it allows us to be able to work with our clients through our quantum healing and our intuitive life coaching that we do.
Wow.
I do Reiki. It just enhances our
Mm.
abilities in such a way so that way we can really provide a great service.
Definitely. And one of the things that we do is quantum restorative hypnotherapy technique. And we got the technique from Dolores Cannon. She does quantum. She used to do quantum healing hypnotherapy technique. Unfortunately, she passed away. But we got the foundation of, we call it QRHT, from her, and we did a little tailspin on that. And what we do is put people under hypnosis, and we do past life regression with them. And
Okay.
after we do the past life regression, we do up to like 6 lives while they're under, sometimes more. But towards the end, we get the other side to come through. We get your spiritual team to come through, your angels, and we have them come and give a loving report card of what
Wow.
your life is up until this point. And it's beautiful because it's loving, and you want to know. That's like working at a job, and every year, your salary is based upon your review. And
Mhm.
when you get your salary, when you look at your salary and you didn't see any improvement in your salary, it's like, well, no one's telling me my what I'm doing. Like, if no one's telling you, okay, you're doing a good job or a bad job. So
Right.
this is like someone giving you a loving report card. They come in lovingly. It's nothing judging. It's just basically like tapping your shoulder and say, okay, these are the things that you need to improve on. And it's
Right.
beautiful. And for
It
example,
is.
like a lot of people, it seemed like the common denominator amongst a lot of Americans is the way we eat. So they tell
Interesting.
you, the sugar that we intake, the salt, and a lot of the messages is letting it go. A lot of
Yeah.
us don't let things go.
Hmm.
So, and then also too, not to keep adding to it, but we also get to talk to loved ones that have passed on who are part of your ancestor team. So it's a beautiful
Interesting.
process.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen your own past lives?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah. What?
I've actually got my past life through a client. Ask me how that happened. Um, turns out that a coworker and we met together in this lifetime, and we have a very, very magnificent connection. And she gave me some beautiful information and I found out who I who I was in a past life through her. And it was the most incredible thing I
And
could
that was while
ever.
you were doing quantum, the QRHT.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So she had another client under, and that's when her life came to the forefront.
My lifetime came to the
Yeah.
forefront. Yeah, my
Hmm.
past life. That was
Yeah.
one of the first ones I found out about. But then when I went under, then of course I found out more about other past lives.
Yeah.
Have y'all been friends in y'all past lives as well? Like,
Oh,
have y'all
have
Yep.
known each
we?
other?
Have
Friends,
we?
family.
Yes. Yes. And one lifetime I was her cousin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Cause
prime
y'all saw Bad
example.
Boys,
Huh?
right? Y'all saw Bad Boys 4. Did y'all see the last Bad
Yes.
Boys with, and you seen how
So,
like
so Erica, listen, my family, because with my spirituality, they are still now they're starting to believe more. But when that movie came out, and I felt like they made a joke out of spirituality a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
And so my family was like, "Oh, I thought about you when I was watching the movie." Especially, I guess, when he went in traffic and just knew
Yeah, yeah,
nothing was gonna
yeah.
happen. Oh, I thought about you. Or when the alligator, bit him, or crocodile, whatever that
Yeah,
animal was at the
yeah,
end. Yeah,
yeah.
we were laughing hysterically. We were thinking about you. So I
Wow,
was a little,
wow.
I was a little taken back. I'm like, okay, y'all making a joke out of my spirituality, but it's okay.
Cause how long have y'all
He
known
who laughs.
how long have y'all known each other? Like y'all known each other since when?
Well, we met in nursing school.
That
Okay,
So
was
okay.
'Mike,
20, almost 20 years ago.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
the way that worked, the universe put us together in that spot, because we were supposed to be in a waiting list to get into that nursing school, and both of us was not on a waiting list. So when we both started, it was like, how long you guys was on that waiting list? And it was like, what waiting list?
Waiting list.
Right, right. Wow. And so
Yeah.
Yep.
with the podcast, I really love it. First of all,
Thank
Thank
and
you.
you.
it, you guys talk about the ancestry, the frequencies, and everything. And the last episode I really liked, and y'all were talking about the whole gender wars thing that's going on right now, and how, and the need for self-love. So I'm curious to this question, because I sent the episode to one of my friends that we argue all the time about this, and I've been like, no, you gotta love yourself, and he like, no, men are supposed to just be with a bunch of women, and this is that and the fourth. So what do y'all say to that? What do y'all say to men are just supposed to just be with other women, and that's how they're supposed to live their life? Like, what do you say to that?
There's different shades to that, and it's very cryptic, and I'm gonna tell you why. So most of us come down here with soul contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So Dolores Cannon, we learned through her that you have villains in your life. So in heaven, we are all friends.
Yeah,
So even this transaction between you and us and you, this was something that was already preordained. This is what we believe. This
yeah.
was already preordained when you were in heaven. Let's call it heaven, because there's different dimensions upstairs. Um, so what happens is, if a woman's lesson is to choose herself,
Mm-hmm.
God is not going to hand choosing yourself on a platter and say, "Okay, now you have learned how to choose yourself."
Right.
No, God is going to send you multiple people. If you're in a heterosexual relationship or heterosexual, he will send you multiple men so that you can learn that lesson. So now you got to keep in mind, these men that come your way, they were your friends upstairs.
Yeah, we of
And so
course we
now
were.
you are meeting these people. And if you didn't learn the lesson the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, guess what? You're being tested. This is all a
Mm-hmm.
game. This is all a
Mm-hmm.
school. So people must look at it from that angle and understand that when you meet this guy, he's going to present himself as like a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's not going to say to you, "Hey, I'm the same
Mm.
bastard you dated 3 times ago." He's not going
Right,
to say
right.
that. But it's up to you to use discernment. It's up to you to look at your past relationships and say to yourself, "You know what? The last relationships I was in, I had sex with the guy the first month. Maybe I should wait and figure out who this guy is."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to go too far from the question, what I need you to understand is that, or I need your audience to understand is that these men that come in your life are part of the game, it's part of the test. And they were given that assignment because God can't come down and date you and say to you, Erica, I need you to learn how to choose yourself. He got to
Right.
utilize other people to do that for you. And that
Right.
goes across the board with anything. That's like being at work with a coworker. If you're supposed to learn how to have patience, your coworker is going to do things, or even your children. Like I have three kids, four adult children. I mean, three daughters and a son. I had to learn patience with my children. So it's all about whatever the lesson is. The villains are here. Now, mind you,
Exactly.
the villains were your friends upstairs, but now
Yeah.
they're in this character to be your villain, so you can learn the lesson. And before you speak, Janine, I just want to give the analogy. I gave the analogy to someone. It's like going to a job fair, and there's different booths. So a woman goes to every booth. Like, so if a man is at every booth, if there's 10 booths, the woman should not make it down to the 10th booth. I'm sorry. She
Okay.
should learn by the fourth booth of men that I'm dating the same guy. Now, if she gets to date the booth 10, which a lot of them do, the universe is saying, darling, you dated the
Right.
same guy 10 times. Why are you
Right.
complaining? So now the men, let's talk about the men real quick before you talk, Jay. The men who are given these assignments, the universe protects them in a cryptic way because don't get it twisted. They're killing like 30 birds with one stone. So this one guy that may dog one girl out, trust and believe he was given the assignment to maybe dog out 10 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he goes from woman to woman to woman. And what happens is all these women he goes to, they were supposed to learn a lesson and they keep failing at the test. And it's flip flop. So like these men keep saying, oh, these women, they dress provocative, they're nasty, they this, they that. Okay, so why do you keep dating the same kind of woman? You're attracting the
Exactly.
same kind of woman because
Right.
you're on a lower vibration. So
And then at some point, that man meets a woman who he's supposed to stop the cycle.
yes.
Okay.
See, he's serving his purpose as a villain, but then at some point, he's supposed to stop the cycle. If he doesn't stop the cycle, then he continues to develop karma.
Yeah, he starts
Interesting.
developing karma. Yup.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
the villains play a role. The villains are very essential to our learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
I
one
guess
thing
it.
I will say is this. One thing I will say is this, Erica, excuse me, is that there are some people that come here to have a good time too. Don't get it twisted. So
Mm-hmm.
when some people reincarnate, they come here to have a good time. So there are some men that came here to just have sex with a lot of women because they came here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Because life truly is an experience, no matter how you make it,
Yeah.
and you have to take into account for that. But that does not mean that that individual will not develop karma at some point.
That's interesting.
Yep.
It almost sounds like it. As far as relationships and these dynamics, it depends on what your plan was when you came here. That's
Yeah.
really
Correct.
what it depends on. How can you know like the plan that you like? How do you know your plan? Like, how can people know their plan? Do y'all know yours? Like, do y'all know
Patterns.
y'all plans?
Patterns.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what
Okay.
we do. We help people when we do intuitive life coaching and when we do the QRHT, we help people understand what the plan is. But I'll be honest with you, Erica, like after this show, if you get a piece of paper and pen, I want you to write down all the patterns that keep happening in your life.
And
Mm,
triggers.
Yep.
mm,
Patterns and triggers. Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you like there's people who go from job to job and have the same exact problem from job to job. So then they have to understand that the problem is not the job, the problem is them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong with them. What they need to understand is that God has a lesson for you to learn. And if you don't learn the lesson at the first job, you're going to go into the second job doing the same exact thing. And it will keep repeating until you learn the lesson. And that's with
Yep.
everything.
Correct. And that's why people are stuck. That's why people feel like they're stuck all the time. And they don't realize that that's because they were given the same lesson over and over again and they
Mhm.
can't move forward. They're not understanding where they fall in that
Mm,
learning lesson, that sometimes they have to put the mirror towards themselves.
interesting.
Eric, I'm going to ask you a question
Yeah. Go ahead. I was going to
for
say
your
that.
audience. For your audience. Can you give us a thing that you know, if you, I don't know how personal you want to get, something that you know that you need to work on, something that keeps happening to you? It could be speaking up or having patience.
Um, I think it has something to do with want feeling chosen, like being chosen, like somebody choosing me.
Are you a middle
Because
child?
no, I'm actually a kind of the youngest and kind of only child. So my brother and my sister were they like 20 years older than me, and like so like I grew up as an only child basically. So
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, but I think
So
that
so you said so
yeah,
you
I
said
think
that you feel like you
it's about being chosen, because when you mentioned patterns, I actually, so all last summer I was like applying to jobs. I had a job, but I was just like applying to jobs because I wanted another one so I can get more money or whatever. So eventually, like I did ended up getting this job in like September. I was laid off in April. So now what I'm doing this summer again, I'm applying to jobs and I'm getting interviews every week. I'm literally doing the same thing that I was doing last summer. And so like I'm
mm,
like what is this? Like why is this happening where I'm constantly going through this? And I feel like, and it's kind of in relationships too, like in relationships, I'm always looking for the man to choose me. And I think that the lesson and the that I'm supposed to get is that I have to choose myself for real. Like, and even with these jobs, it's like going in
Can
and
y'all see
choosing
that?
me. What does that
Can you
say?
see that, Erica?
I see the, what you
I
talking about,
I
the
showed
writing?
I showed this on the last show. It says my tattoo says choose you. So what does
Yeah,
that tell you about my life lesson?
right.
What
You
does
got,
that tell you about my life lesson?
was that the same
It's the
with you?
same.
You have to choose
Yeah, it's
yourself.
about choosing yourself.
Yeah,
A hundred percent.
that's what I'm learning now. And honestly, like
Yeah.
when I really started to choose myself, like for real, like it's like I'm in the same situation, but it feels so different right now. Like, like, and even though like I don't have a job, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get another job. You know what I mean? I think
yeah.
it's really in the who you become as these things are happening. And I like right now I feel
Mhm.
free. Like I feel so free and blessed. And even when I go into these interviews, when I for job interviews, like I'm not going in there with sort of like a begging mentality. Like I'm going in there with a I know I can help you mentality, and if you want my help, here I am, and I come as myself, and
I was
I
gonna
find
say
it,
that.
yeah, it goes so much smoother. And yeah,
I was going to say that about you because that's what I was picking up. I just feel like you're just doing it just because you feel like you have to, or you feel like you just need the money. I don't feel like this really you getting a job has anything to do with your purpose. It has nothing to do with your true creativity or anything that you're willing to truly fulfill in your lifetime, which is why God keeps pointing you in a different direction. And I
yeah,
just think that you need to pay attention to which way that God wants you to move. There's
yeah,
something bigger in front of you.
Now,
yeah. I
Erica, let
feel
me
it.
ask you, before you move on with your questions, for you, how's your prayer and meditation life?
Um, Actually, pretty good. Like I meditate pretty much daily. When I
Okay.
first get up, like sometimes in the middle of the day, if I'm feeling I'm just, something is bothering me, I just, meditate. Before my job interviews, before these, like I try to meditate to make sure everything is, going to be as clear as possible. So yeah, like that's daily for me. I'm always like in that.
And the reason why I asked you that, what messages are when you get messages, do you know when the messages are from them or do you think it's from you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I know whatever's going on is profound. Like
Mm.
after I
Okay.
come out of my meditation, like it's like I know what to do, like for my day, or
Okay.
it's like I know what to do.
And pertaining to your job, what are they saying to you when it comes down to you in all these interviews? Are they giving you messages specifically for that, or are you still waiting for information?
I haven't really like asked too much, except only thing I'm asking is honestly is like, yo, when am I gonna have a job again? Like because I'm not because I'm on because it's money. Like honestly, like it. Like I just
Okay.
want these jobs so I can have money, and I want money so I can support my lifestyle and
Isn't that what I just said?
like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like support this like my lifestyle and do my podcast. Like I want to be able to concentrate.
Yeah.
Like I want my job, whatever job I have, I want to be able to do it, but I want to be able to also concentrate on this because I think this is sort of like the bigger thing. Because honestly, actually, I got laid off. Like before I got laid off, I had said to myself, I had my podcast was it was kind of in my mind. My podcast, it was starting in my mind a little bit, and so I had said to myself, like, I just want some time to, launch my podcast. Like I want,
Okay.
that's going to be my priority, my podcast and working. Those are the things I'm gonna do. And I got laid off, and and then it's like, okay, well,
Okay.
I have a lot of time now to do my podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, I a job isn't the end all be all for me. It's just money, and maybe you're right. I do need to
Yeah.
sort of ask like
Yeah,
what that
ask
is.
them, because what happens is they're willing to give you the information. That's what I'm getting, is that even though you pray and meditate, there's a little disconnect. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but a lot of
Yeah.
times, what happens, I'll be honest with you, what happens for me and personally is like sometimes I'm afraid to ask
Mm,
because I don't want to I don't want to say, how can I put it? I'm still new to all of this with the psychic mediumship. So it's
yeah.
like sometimes I'm afraid to ask, and then what if the answer is wrong?
Right.
So I don't want to play myself. But going back to you, ask and you shall receive. So
Mm,
they'll give you answers through different channels. I always give the story how I wanted to do a candle business, and they gave me my answer while watching CNN. So
wow.
ask them, and whatever information you're getting, don't throw it in the garbage. That's
Yeah.
the best advice I can give you. Is because you
Yeah.
do get messages, you just sometimes don't realize it's directly from them.
Yeah. I will say this.
But you're on the right path.
I know my podcast is what I'm supposed to do. Like I know that for like
Hmm.
a fact. It like ever since I started it, it's just been like changes within me. Like, but also I don't know, it just feels different. Like I've had a lot of podcasts. Honestly, you know what
Okay.
I mean? I'm in marketing, I'm in media, like, this is kind of like my space. So I've done a lot, and this is the first time where it feels different, So
Okay.
I know this is gonna blow up. I know that it's gonna lead to other things that are coming to me in my mind. So like this is like I know this is going to be something, and that it's probably where I should spend the majority of my time, to be honest. And
Hmm.
I want to spend the majority of my time on this, but you know I life.
Oh yeah,
So
life,
I
life be life.
yeah, life, like I'm still young. I still like to go out. I want to travel. I want to be with my friends and go to, I still want to have a good time. And so I know that's going to get figured out, but I don't feel anxious about anything though. I will say that. Like I don't
Good.
feel
Yeah.
anxious. I'm
Good.
not like stressed and depressed like I was and at a time when I was, doing this, cuz I've done this multiple times and I've been stressed. Like when I was in New York with like I was so depressed. That was probably like the worst time in my life when I was working,
Mm.
and I was very like I was like probably very close to like self transitioning. The only thing that stopped me was the fact that I didn't think it would work. Like I was like, it's just gonna make things worse. I'm gonna come back, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna have extra problems. People gonna look at me weird and everything, and so I never did it. But yeah,
Okay.
it's tough. But so this is how you
Yeah.
guys work with your clients at with the uplift vibrational wellness center.
Vibrational. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. We start with a
Okay.
consultation.
Okay. What like how can
Yeah.
people like I guess what type of problems would a person have that they could come to you guys with?
Everything.
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
You just have a
So like,
disclaimer that you can't have schizophrenia and bipolar. Those are the
You
yeah.
two things
can't
we can't work with. You
okay.
can't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why is that?
We could have major depression, things like that.
Yeah.
Why not
PTSD.
why not schizophrenia and bipolar? Why is that a little different?
Schizophrenia, and we had did a show on it about mental health. Schizophrenia is a
It's a very advanced mental health
yeah,
disorder, and there's a lot of chemical imbalances that are occurring during that.
yeah,
You got to remember, both of us are nurses, and even
Mm,
Dolores Cannon, she speaks against it. But us
yeah.
being nurses, we're fully aware that that you don't know what you might be speaking to when you put
Hmm.
somebody under, and or if they have the ability to be able to go under. So we'd rather be safe than sorry. We don't want
mm,
to interfere with anybody's actual medical conditions.
right.
So we would rather people just undergo regular treatment, and that's something that we don't touch.
And also too, and this is a controversial statement I'm about to say, but we had mentioned it on our podcast that some schizophrenics are empaths and there are psychic mediums.
Yeah.
It's just that they don't know how to channel correctly, so they're getting the wrong spirits coming to them. But
Yeah, I was going to ask,
that's
what is
a
that spiritual?
debatable.
Yeah, I was going because I kind of feel that too. I have a family member that has bipolar schizophrenia, and sometimes the stuff that he would tell me, especially now that I'm in this space, I'm like it's kind of matching up with some stuff that I'm learning in this space, and so it's like it almost just seems like they don't have any control of it, and it's just you know
Yes,
messing with their minds or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
definitely.
So what do you guys
Hmm.
say to, the black people that would listen to this, or in your audience and my audience everywhere, that's just saying y'all messing with the devil. Y'all y'all better get some Jesus and
Yeah.
get in church, get some word in you. Like what do y'all say to that?
You want to answer that, Kate?
Well, that's a multiple layer answer, and I'm going to tell you. So when it comes onto the QRHT, one family member, I told her is that at the very end, when they give you that love and report card, we've never had someone say, "Go ahead and eat more cookies. Go ahead and have sex with a bunch of men. Go ahead." Like they're not giving information that is not healthy for you. So it's
Okay.
all loving. And so I said to her, would the devil tell you to stop eating sugar for 30 days? Like the devil wouldn't tell you that.
Right.
And that's just I'm just giving you a little snippet. There's a lot more. Like, for example, a lot of our clients they tell have patience, love more, let it go, let things
Yeah.
go. The devil is not saying that. That's number
No.
one. Number two is when it comes down to I told Janelle I was going to tell this story. I had a client, and she was a woman I went to church with years ago, and we had met up in a parking lot at a supermarket, and we talked for like a good hour about all of this stuff. She's a holy roller. She's heavy into God. She goes to church every Sunday, and so when I told her about what Janine and I do, she kept going, "Ooh, oh my God!" Like she must have said "ooh" about 20 times because she was just like, "Ooh." And so, mind you, later on, she ended up being a client. So, anywho, so what she said to me at that time while we were in a parking lot, she said to me, you know, I can't relate to what you're saying. She said, but the funny thing is, a lot of the spiritual stuff you're mentioning, a lot of African slaves came over from Africa to America with these gifts, with
Mm,
connecting with the ancestors and the angels. And she said that was taken from them and they were handed a Bible.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, Erica, not only has the Black community been given the Bible, other cultures are now utilizing the same gifts that these African slaves came over with, and they're winning. They are
Mm,
literally winning because they're tapping in to their angels. They're meditating. They're praying. They're calling upon, like I call upon Archangel Raphael when I'm sick, and if a loved one is sick. We were taught not to do that. Only call upon Jesus. And
mm,
I teach my clients who are holy rollers. I said you can ask for help from entities. I said the best way to do it is say, God. I'm asking permission to allow Archangel Raphael to help me because I'm sick right now.
Right.
So, unfortunately, Black people are afraid of this because we were taught don't do this. But the same people that said don't do this are the ones that's doing what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, we pray, we still utilize Jesus. So I don't want
Yes.
anybody to think
Yes.
that, we don't pray to anything. That's not what that's about. We understand the significance of energy signatures behind a lot of the symbolic, deities and all of these gods and things that people use as spirituality. Jesus Christ is one of the main ones that
Mhm.
we actually utilize and pray to and with. And
Mm-hmm.
we have just a stronger understanding of the importance of Christ consciousness and how it
Mm-hmm.
plays into how we start loving ourselves and
Yes.
how we can love each other in relationships and how we love our communities differently.
Mhm.
So, I think it actually broadens our awareness when we have a better understanding of how spirituality can play into our lives. And it's unfortunate that some people are just so close minded that they won't accept it. But honestly, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And I just want to
beautiful.
mention, Erica, when Janine and I first became twin flames and we started noticing the synchronicities, I'm one of those people. I asked God, like, okay, so what is the purpose of all of this? And so
Mm-hmm.
eventually we found out that we were sent here with a mission. And the mission came about because so many people are here stuck. They're living in different patterns. They can't get out of ruts. They life keep looping. And so
Mm-hmm.
God sent us and said, like, listen, you need to give a message. He sent you to give a
Yeah.
message. He sent a lot of light workers to give the message because I don't know if you ever seen an interview we did with Matt Frazier, the psychic medium. We did that last year when I was taping in my bathroom and Janine was taping in her living room or her bedroom. Matt, Matt Frazier is a psychic medium and he wrote a book called I think never no don't die with regrets, or what was the name? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes. Signs from the afterlife.
Or
Don't die without knowing how to die without regrets or something like
something like
that.
that. I
I
apologize, Matt.
apologize, Matt. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes. So
How
I
to not
brought
die
that up.
without regrets. Signs from the afterlife. I think
Yes.
that's what it is.
So what happened was he asked a lot of souls that passed on, what is the one thing you would tell people that are living? And they said, don't die with any regrets.
Mm.
And so that's what's happening. The average soul comes here 50 times at least. And the reason why they come here 50 times is because they can't get it right. And so God was like, that's why God sent light workers like yourself, Janine, and
Yeah.
myself, is because so many people keep failing the test and they keep coming back and coming back. And people go back complaining, like, okay, we were born with this veil of forgetfulness. So how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to work on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people like Janine and I will sit with you and we'll help you figure out what you're supposed to work on so you don't have to come back. Like Janine and I have gotten validation. This is it. We've been here many, many, many times. And our
Mm-hmm.
mission here on earth is done once we complete this mission, and we have to. So,
Yeah.
like Erica, I admire you because you want to do this podcast. We had to do this podcast.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
had like like I'm an Erica, how old are you, baby?
36. Just turned it.
36?
Yeah, I just turned
You
it
look
July.
good.
Thank you.
You look very good. Now I'm thinking you in your 20s. You look
20,
very good. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll be 50 next year. And I'll be
Oh
honest with you,
wow.
like I'm at the point in my life where I've been a registered nurse for over 16 years, Janine and I want to just chill and relax. But when we got from the Akasha records told us, oh no, excuse my French, no, you bitches got work to do. Get your asses up.
Oh man. Oh, they say I got work.
Get up. And then let me tell you something, Erica, Janine and I, in one of the many lifetimes we were here, we messed up badly in one of our previous lifetimes. We were giving all of these gifts before, and we
Yeah.
utilized it
And y'all didn't
correctly.
use it.
And we were
Okay.
supposed to help mankind, and we did not. So now we're back
Not
to,
not it was by default though. The
yeah,
information got into the wrong
and it's
hands,
the wrong
and
hands.
unfortunately, we weren't able to complete the mission that we were sent to do. So we
Yes.
had to
Wow.
recycle and come back and fix it. That's why we're
Yep.
here.
That's
Yep.
interesting.
And I'm going to tell everybody, for all of you who are struggling, there's people who are in their 60s and 70s and are saying they don't know why they're here, but they see a lot of patterns and they're stuck. If you need to come to Janine and I, come to Erica, but come to somebody who has a gift in this realm where we can help you figure out why you came here, and then we can give you the tools. Because let me tell you something, Erica, is not easy, and that's what Jeannie and I discovered. It's not easy. So yes, once you find out, so we can tell you what you need to do, but then
Yeah,
then after that you got to do the work. The work is the hard part.
that's the hard part.
It's
That's the
always the
hard
work.
part. But what we do is we teach you how to raise your vibration.
Hmm.
There we go.
We call ourselves vibrational specialists.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
we're your lawyers on the other side. So when we put
yes,
you under a
yes.
quantum healing, we advocate for you. We fight for yous.
Raise
Yes,
the
we need to do a
vibes.
commercial, Janine.
Raise
Because
the
we really
vibes.
are lawyers.
We
Yeah.
are.
We be fighting for people because they be like, no, we're not gonna do. Sometimes, like I said, they come through lovingly, but sometimes their thing is their thing is that some people keep doing the same thing over and over again. They're like, well, why would I help her lose weight if she keeps eating the cookies?
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm just using that example.
Yeah.
But there's many different things. Like some women, like, okay, a woman might say, I need to find a mate. And they're like, well, we keep testing her and she keeps failing.
Yeah.
So Janine and I are fighting for you while you're under, to get them to give you some, to make the path a little easier for you.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, I know, I
We
know,
fight
I
for
know,
yous.
I know, I know. On the internet, people love you. Gonna help them find a man that's gonna, it's gonna have
Well,
everybody gonna love that.
listen, this is the thing. There's plenty of men waiting out here for you ladies, but you got to do the work first because y'all got to do that self love.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
swear to God, you do that self love, and some of you guys have
Yes.
to be alone by yourself for a little while. I've been alone for a hot little minute now.
Yeah.
And I'm
Same.
telling you, my king is waiting. I just got to
Yeah.
fix some stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Same.
Yes.
You have to
Same.
be okay with that. So,
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have, of course, I'm gonna have this information in the description. But how can the people get in touch with you guys, book you guys, the podcast, everything? Like,
well, definitely, if they want to reach out to us to book us for the podcast, they can hit us up at TBTC Pod, tbtcpod@gmail.com. If you want to definitely come on the show, because we have two shows. We have two for the price of one. But you guys can see us at Twin Flames Fix My Vibe, where we are actually doing the work. You can see us in live in
Mm-hmm.
action, where we are raising people's vibration. If you actually want to come on the show, you are more than welcome, because with that, we are offering free intuitive life coaching packages for a limited time.
Yes. Yeah.
We always say that, for a limited time, to those individuals who really truly need help but are not afraid to share their experiences with the public. By all means, please, we would love to have you on our show. And then also, Truth Be Told Conversations, you can find us on YouTube and Spotify, all streaming platforms. And you can also come get services with us at the Uplift Vibrational Wellness Center. Please visit us at
Mm-hmm.
upliftvibrationalwellnesscenter.com, and we can definitely be fight for yous.
Yes. Yes. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared.
hey, I love it. Well, I want to thank you too for coming on the show. I really love that we connected, because I feel like there needs to be more of us in this space, being able to speak the same language as people that may not have may look at this as like, girl, like Jesus rose, like, you know what I mean. They need to
Yeah.
understand that
Yeah.
Jesus is very, very, very real. Like, it's not for
Mm-hmm.
play. Like, he's very real. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
man, I
Yes.
really want to thank y'all for coming on the show. For those listening, make sure you like, follow, share Vision Rebirth on all platforms. My name is E. You can find me at the_real E on all platforms. Thank you again, ladies, for coming on the show. My name is E. This is
Thank
Vision
you.
Rebirth.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And cut.